On today's show,
4 straight losses and closed-door meetings. Is it time to worry about OKC's slow start?
is James Harden the MVP frontrunner? Should the Raps retire Vince Carter's jersey?
And a couple of rookies star in this week's top 10 plays.
It's Friday, November 10th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV or watching us a little bit later on YouTube, we're very happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Our producer just told us in our ear that we had a lot of good things this week. We hope you agree.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, it is the train conductor, Trey Kirby. All aboard! What are you wearing?
Just a classic pair of Dickies overalls. I don't know what's so weird about it. If things go long, I got a snack. If I need to take a call, I got my phone here. Got a couple of pens. I got it all, guys.
A very comfortable look.
Oh yeah, I'm chilling.
You got something? You got something on underneath, or? Oh boy! All right.
Just a shirt.
We know he doesn't like to wear things under.
Yeah, I know. Let's pop it over there, man.
Yeah, all right. I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. And guys, a new species of meme was spotted last night. Confused Costa Koufos. It's a direct descendant of the famous and widely used Nodding Alonzo Mourning GIF, and it is terrific. And because Costa's looking so confused, it brings us to today's question. What is Costa Koufos thinking about? Maybe it's a grown man wearing overalls, or maybe somebody is explaining to him that the 6th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, is actually the 6th movie in the franchise, even though it was the 3rd to come out. But that's how Han is able to be in episode 4, 5, and 6, even though he technically died in the 3rd movie. I know it's hard to follow, but it's all true. Check it out on the Wikipedia. Anyways, I'm here. Gonna be looking for your tweets at #TheStarters. Let us know what Costa Koufos was thinking about. Send us your best tweets. I'll check them later.
All right. On tonight's show, Tass will award the dishonor for worst of the week. We got the top 10 plays from the past 7 days. Lee's got a very solid play, but we start with a little true or false. 5 games on last night. We'll dig into a couple of those and some of the bigger storylines. Conductor Trey, take it away.
All right, if there were a Garth Brooks song about the Thunder not rolling, because that's definitely the case in OKC, as the Thunder basketball team lost their 4th straight game last night, thanks to another 4th quarter disaster against the Nuggets. Guys, it's still early, but true or false, it's time to worry about OKC.
False. They do not know who they are. They don't have their identity. That's the only explanation for how bad they've been on defense in key moments. And the reason why they're bad on defense is because they can't grab a defensive rebound. They're just stuck in mud. 1 of every 2 shots that goes up on their rim during clutch situations goes to the other team. They don't grab it. That is by far the worst mark in the league. I mean, they just stand there. I really don't think they know who they are on the offensive end, and that translates to the defensive end, and especially in key moments. The clutch stats prove that they're just bad on both ends.
Yeah.
So to me, that just signals this team is not who they are going to be 10, 15, 20 games from now. It's just too early to have their identity.
Yeah, I tend to agree, because I also think they get about a 20-game pass until you have to start worrying, because that's, again, where the Heatles were back when LeBron joined Wade and Chris Bosh. Mm-hmm. It takes time when you're integrating 2 new all-star type caliber players. Their offense, it doesn't look great. That needs to improve, because their defense statistically is okay, but we know that doesn't necessarily translate to anything if you're not winning games. So I don't think there's a huge correction they need to make. They just have to understand that it's okay on offense if Paul George has 25 shots one night and Melo only has 5. It's okay if then the next night it changes around. It's more about just getting good shots, and don't worry too much about trying to get everyone the same amount of shots and trying to make sure that Paul George, how many shots did he get? How many does Melo get? How many does Russell Westbrook have to take? They have to sort of put all their egos aside, and they've all been demonstrating they're prepared to sacrifice. So do it a little bit more, and I think wins are going to come a little bit more than they have been.
I'm with you guys. I mean, it is a little too early to go overboard with this, but the losses these losses, it's the teams they're playing and losing to is the only concern here, right? They're 0-6 in the West right now. They're not going to go 0, whatever it is, 41 or whatever. They play more than 50, that even. Yeah. They're not going to do that. But, they lose to the Jazz. They lose to the Wolves. They lose to the Blazers. Last night they lose to the Nuggets. Those are teams, in theory, that they're going to be jockeying with for position in the Western Conference. That's it. So it's some unfortunate losses. They just haven't put together 48 minutes of solid basketball for most nights here, especially over this losing streak. They play great for 35, 40, and then you get in those final 8 minutes or so, and both offensively and defensively, when it gets into tight games, they're either just not hitting shots, not grabbing rebounds, or getting stops. So it's come down to that. I think they're going to be able to turn that around.
It's an interesting thing because they are an isolation team. I mean, that's how they have been playing. That's how they've been coached the last few years. I don't think they're really going to go away from that. And it's not like the Warriors where they're running off the ball. They do just say, hey, Carmelo, this is your possession. Everybody else just chill.
That
It doesn't work.
stagnates the offense.
Yeah. But I don't
the
know.
other thing
Is that going to change? I don't know if that's going to change.
Well, that's the thing. I think they can make a change to that by not worrying about who's taking the shot. Just keep the ball moving until someone is open. If that's Paul George, great. If it's Melo, great. If it's someone else, just don't worry so much because it feels to me like they are so concerned about making sure that everyone's happy on offense, and they just don't need to worry about
A
that.
little credit should be given to the Denver Nuggets, who I thought played a pretty phenomenal game, obviously, last night. They're a 7-5 team. We expect that team to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
They started very, very slow this year, but they're starting to find their groove. Jokic should be, one of your favorite players to watch in this league. He's a treat. Millsap rounding into sort of that all-star Hawks form. Moutier had his maybe best game of his young career last night with the 21 points. Barton coming off the bench.
But it is a game
big win
that
there.
the Thunder should win.
And they know that.
were in
That's
a
why they're
position
having
to win,
closed-door
yeah.
meetings about it.
I think it might be time for Russ to just beast it. He is the best player on the team. I think to find their identity, find their hierarchy, their pecking order, he may just have to say, I'm the number one guy.
All right, Trey, what's the next one?
All right, James Harden follow.
Hey, man, you wear overalls. We're bringing out the train
That's
sign.
right. James Harden followed up this 56-13 masterpiece by throwing down a ho-hum 35-11-13 while adding 5 steals in Houston's win over the Cavs last night. The victory ties the Rockets with the Warriors for best record in the West, so true or false, James Harden is the MVP frontrunner.
It's true right now.
I think so, yeah.
I've been on Giannis's wagon from the start of the season, but the losses do take an impact. I mean, the Bucks have lost 4 straight, whereas the Rockets are 9-3. And James Harden statistically has been better than he was last season when he finished second in
It's
MVP
crazy.
voting.
He's averaging 30, 10, and 5 basically in 36 minutes
And
per
it's
game.
converting into victories for his team. So to me, he's certainly the best player on one of the best teams in the league. I probably have the Rockets on a par with the Celtics. The Warriors, I think, are still probably the best team right now. But James Harden, his impact and the response he's had, considering how the playoffs ended for him last year, and that's going to be the key to how we judge his season, what he does in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But so far, he certainly looks like he's a man on a mission out there.
The longer Chris Paul is out, the more it helps James Harden's case here because it seems like the formula for the MVP is have one great player on your team and the other guy is not recognized as great players. That's why Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, it seems like it's very difficult for them to win. But guys like Harden, Giannis, Porzingis are the ones that are sort of getting the most talked about. That, and just like Westbrook last year, even though the guys that really scrapped and won that game alongside Harden's great game were PJ Tucker, who was a hero, beasting, and Clint Capella getting the wins, but they're not recognized as star players in this league, and that's seems to be the formula for the NBA MVP right now.
It's funny you say that. If Harden wants to win just MVP this year, then you wouldn't want Chris Paul to come back. But if you want to maybe go deep in the playoffs and actually challenge the Warriors and try and challenge for a title, then you need Chris Paul back because that's what I saw last night. I saw Harden beasting once again for a good 3 quarters. But what did he go in the 4th? You could see he tired. All his shots started coming up shorter and shorter until the point where they were air balls and guys like Capella were grabbing them. I understand they were short a couple guys last night and D'Antoni likes to run a pretty short rotation as it is, but they need Chris Paul to get back in here so you could say, Harden, take these nights off or these halves off and save it for the playoffs when he's been running out of gas. So important and positive news, it sounds like Chris Paul should be back pretty soon. And I think that'd be a good thing for the Rockets for the long season. Next one, Trey.
All right, in a new edition of his running diary on the Undefeated, forget about the Harden wagon, hop on the Trey train. Curry King and all-time Raptor great Vince Carter admitted he'd like for the Raptors to retire his jersey someday, something he once told us the ultimate honor. I know a couple of Raptors fans. So true or false, the Raptors should retire Vince Carter's jersey.
Oh yeah. Let's wave that flag right now. Yes.
Absolutely.
Plant it, retire that jersey. They have to. If there's one guy who saved the franchise outside of the stable ownership group that came in, I don't think the franchise was going anywhere because Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment came in there. That being said, it was a bit of a wishy-washy situation, and this guy put basketball on the map in Toronto.
Does that
That's it.
overshadow?
End period. Done. Give it to him.
Does this overshadow the way things ended? Though?
Yeah, there was a messy.
Yes.
There was a messy
Yeah.
divorce.
It was gross.
Yeah.
It was gross, but all the highlights that we just saw, the impact he had, the cultural impact he had.
Because they only won one playoff series, with
yes.
Vince. I mean, look, I think they should retire it, but you can see why people would say no. I mean, he was there only for a relatively short time. He did put up incredible numbers, and I do think that if he doesn't go to Toronto, maybe the franchise doesn't exist
what
anymore.
Taz is saying. Yeah.
But you have to take into account how things ended, and Vince didn't really play his heart out to the end when he wanted to go, and then when he left, things were pretty ugly there for a while. So I think that does factor into it somewhat.
The Raps have never retired anyone's jersey. I mean, they're a fairly new franchise, all things considered, but he is going to be, that jersey is going up there. We've heard, Raps president Masai Ujiri say, we want him home in Toronto, and a lot of people maybe thought that was, bring Vince back for a season or two here at the end of his career. I think it actually means maybe he'll either join the organization in some aspect, or we put that jersey up in the rafters. But it's going to start with Vince. Bosch, I think, eventually will follow, and then eventually will be like a Lowry and a DeRozan. Those will be the four guys that I think go up eventually in the Raptors there. And I was one of those Raptors fans that was on Vince and on the team, of course, with that messy divorce when we traded Vince away for an Alonzo Mourning that never showed up and a couple Williams you've never heard of. It was bad, and I was on him, but
Yeah, time
heals everything.
Yeah.
Time heals everything, and I think it helps that Vince Carter is actually a very, very nice guy too across this league. People
And he
rave
has some
about him,
regrets
so
about the way things ended.
I think
there
he
as well.
absolutely
You know,
does.
he knows, because anytime he goes back and they put the tribute, he gets a tear in his eye. He knows what that franchise meant to him.
It will go up for sure. All right, Trey, final one, man.
All right, speaking of Vince Carter, he missed last night's Kings Sixers game because of kidney stones. We talked about this on our podcast, The Drop, earlier today. We discussed whether any of us have ever had kidney stones, and Lee said he thinks something may have gone through his urinary tract, but he's not sure what. True or false? Lee Ellis had a kidney stone.
It's true. It's true, man.
Prove it.
Well, I can't prove it now, but
You didn't keep
call
them?
my wife. No, yeah. I was
didn't
playing
keep
squash one morning, and as I finished squash, I was just on my way home, and all of a sudden, I started feeling I had to go to hospital, man. It's awful. Yeah,
Just the once.
just the once, yeah. But the doctors say once you have one, you're more likely to have another one. So, yeah.
I'm not, buddy. Yeah, that's what I was doing that for you.
It's all right.
All right.
Been
Great
10 years.
final true or false there. Got to take a quick break, but after the Drop, TAS Awards, the dishonor for worst of the week. That's what we are.
Welcome back to the show. It's time for a Friday staple. It's time for the worst of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
Now, before we get to the worst of the week winner, let's show a little love to the runner-up. It's the Milwaukee Bucks, because when purchasing tickets through the Bucks website, users take a look at the sched, and there's a star player associated with each team they might want to see. Want to watch Conley and the Grizzlies, Drummond and the Pistons? Well, there's an actual player associated with each team, except for one. The Chicago Bulls have mascot Benny the Bull as their main attraction.
Be the Bull.
Wow, the Bucks really kicking the Bulls while they're down. I understand.
Who else
they're-
are they going to pick?
Anyone. Not a player.
human? I suppose
I
a
don't
human.
know. I don't know.
Who's the Bulls star,
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm getting at. Who do you put on that
Anybody.
ticket?
Put up Garpax and put up somebody.
If you put up
No
Robin
thanks.
Lopez, you may as well put up Benny the Bull. He's a notorious rival of the mascots. I think that's clever. That's social
There's some
media.
karma, though. There's some karma to come back at them after all the years where the Bulls
he
were a
doesn't-
greater
This guy's
team.
going in the Hall of Fame, Chad. He's a legend.
He is great.
Maybe now he'll travel up to Milwaukee. They can have a cage match with Bango. Could be
Yeah.
exciting.
I said on the Drop podcast, I think he should have to play. Like if he's on the ticket, he needs to start at shooting guard and like win the jump ball off a trampoline and use the popcorn and the dance moves to distract the other team. You got to put him in the starting lineup.
Clever stuff, Bucks.com. Runner-up for worst of the week, but the winner is LeBron James. LeBron, on Monday, posted a photo of a clenched cartoon fist from the show Arthur, accompanied by the caption, "Mood," minutes after Kyrie and the Celtics won their 9th straight. Next day, LeBron posted a collage of him balling his fist throughout his basketball life with the caption, "Mood forever," as if to say, I've always clenched my fist, guys. But let's get a clear answer. Why did you post that angry fist, LeBron?
I like Arthur.
You liar! Tuesday, Draymond Green did the same thing. This photo with the caption, "Mood." Okay, that's funny. He's trolling his rival, obviously. But no, he said he wasn't. LeBron is the worst of the week because he lied to us, and he's making everyone else lie too. Right?
You don't believe him. Have you ever watched Arthur?
Maybe. I don't remember. It's been on forever.
It
It's been on forever.
It has been on forever. It's
I
all right.
don't remember.
It's all right.
Maybe he likes it. I'm not saying he's a liar for liking Arthur.
Okay.
Because he probably does.
Yeah.
But-
Own your memes is what you're saying.
Own it.
If you're going
Own
to be
it.
blasting memes, at least admit it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And he also didn't give credit to the collage creator. Because I don't think.
Oh, come on.
I don't
Come
think
on. He's
he
LeBron
created
James.
this.
He's in the collage. He doesn't need to give credit to
I
whoever
don't think
made
he's
the collage.
using the layout app.
Exactly. Maybe the layout app, maybe the diptych. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to make. So maybe he did make it himself. I'm not buying it, though.
Gave us a whole lot to talk about this week.
Thank you, LeBron.
LeBron and his
Yes.
Arthur Fist meme. Great stuff. All right, when we come back, we will count down the top 10 plays from the past 7 days. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the starters. Skeets Tass, Lee, and a man who's been riding the rails for way too long, the train conductor, Trey Kirby. There it is. All right, let's get to the top 10 plays from the past 7 days at number 10. Well, we got two nice setups into dunks. Yes, we start with Brooke Lopez going behind the back.
Great catch. as
Kuzma,
well.
strong finish. We're not done. Reggie Jackson dropping the dime.
Oh, no.
The big man, Andre Drummond. Whoop.
Pretty slick right there.
Good finish as well.
Little surprise here from Doug McDermott of the New York Knicks.
Oh, yeah, Dougie.
Oh, okay. Okay, Doug.
Don't take your eyes off
Dunk.
Doug on the baseline.
Way to go, Doug! There it is, Doug!
Hey, Doug.
Got him, Doug!
At number 8, we got two rookies showing off their hops. We'll start with De'Aaron Fox.
Oh,
Give me the slow-mo. Give me the slow-mo. There it is. Oh!
Hang time.
And then, another rookie, Dennis Smith Jr., showing the bunnies.
Yeah,
He has one of these every game.
I know.
We had many to pick from. We'll take that one.
At number 7, Marcus Smart to Shemi Ojale.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
What's better, the pass or the finish?
I don't
Oh.
know.
I guess the pass, according
Yeah.
to the edit. At number 6, John Wall. Gonna put Lopez on the poster. Just cups it.
See this every week,
His
too.
patented left hand, yeah. Always done with his left.
You got to be able to buy this on 2K, the John Wall signature lefty.
Get at us, Ronnie.
At number 5, LeBron. Is he riding the Trey train here?
Oh, come on.
I mean, going right through Trevor Ariza. Yeah.
Oh, it's bully ball. At number 4, it's the bus driver, Kyrie Irving. Oh, putting Lakers on
Ah,
steroids.
Bainesy.
And there is Bainesy finishing there. Look at this, though. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Whoop, 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 whoop. And then, oh, hello. And one.
At number 3, the top 10 wouldn't be complete without Giannis Antetokounmpo throwdown.
Go, gadget arms.
Outside the free throw line, no dribbles.
His arm looks like it extends. Am I crazy? Like
Dunk.
Yeah, I know. It
it
grows.
got longer. It's like Jordan in Space Jam. At number 2, Kenneth Faried, the Manimal.
Oh, yeah.
The nice and one oop. Haven't seen much from the Manimal. He's not even getting playing time right now.
Way to go, Ken.
There it is, Ken.
Yeah.
And at number 1, 2 huge blocks. Kristaps Porzingis saving the Knicks on this night. 6 blocks.
Oh, Lance. I love
Lance.
the Moxie, Lance.
Yeah, Lance going at it.
Clean.
Oh, that is.
Lance went at it, and so did Mike James here on Hassan Whiteside.
They're out.
Tries to throw it down on him.
Sit down.
Hassan was happy to get a tee for the
Yeah, yeah.
He was
Oh,
like,
that's worth it right there.
Little volleyball block right there.
Oh, little defense. I like that coming in at number 1, KP and Whiteside. Did we miss any? I'm sure we did. Let us know on Twitter. # the starters. Got to take one more break. But when we come back, we go from highlights just to straight up fundamentals. Lily, very solid play.
And it's De'Aaron Fox. Fox, Covington on him. He stops, he pops. De'Aaron Fox! And we have got a doozy here in Sacramento.
Fox with the game winner last night against the Sixers. Hopefully, we get some buzzer beaters tonight. If we do, make sure to tune into Crunch Time tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern only here on NBA TV to catch them. All right. We asked you earlier in the show, what's Koufos thinking about here? And he's pretty perplexed. Talking it out. You hit us up on Twitter, #thestarters, with a few of your answers. Trey, you got a few of the best ones.
Yeah, some good ones. Nico says he's trying to figure out when he became the longest tenured player on the Kings roster. Very weird. Zach says he's thinking about how skin is the largest organ of the body. It's actually true. And Justin says he was just told that all national anthems are technically country music. That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
All right, let's check last night's pick'em results. It was Thunder Nuggets, which is very fun to say. 3 of us had OKC on the road. 3 of us were wrong. Lee, the only one to take Denver, so picks up a game there. We do this for a reason, because at the end of the month, whoever's in last place, record-wise, has to do the pick'em payoff. Stakes are always high, always messy, scary. If you have suggestions for future pick'em payoffs, let us know on Twitter, #thestarters.
Somebody might be roller skating in the near future.
Really?
I heard. Yeah.
Whoa.
Ooh, uncooked turkey on the head, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Tonight's pick and play, Magic at Suns. You can catch that one on League Pass. 3 of us, Trey, Lee, and myself, have the Magic on the road. Tass is taking the Suns. Lee, where are we going for VSP?
We're going out to Denver for a beautiful one here from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Melo starts it off. Ball fizzes around, ends with Melo for a 3. And that's what I call a very solid play.
Excellent stuff. Here's something we'd like to squeeze in here.
Yeah, this actually came from the Warriors practice facility. It's Steph Curry with the right hoof. Look at that, he drops it in. That's about 45 feet away, I would guess, something like that. Look at that, beautiful. Knocks it in. I thought it was a fake one at first.
What
but,
can't he do? What can't he
legit.
do? We recorded the Drop podcast. It's up on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to our podcast. Had a blast talking NBA, and Lee talked about his disdain for the trade machine. You haven't gone to the trade machine?
No, never.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Why'd you even say that? Yeah,
Because, you know, when you say what team, you're like, well, would it work if you move this salary?
Is that how I sound to you? Is that how I sound to you?
No,
Is
that's how trade machine people talk, you know.
Okay, well, how we got to throw him in here, and then I got to get a third team
And
involved.
they
for cap
do the
salary.
14, who says no? It's like, who cares?
So check out the Drop podcast. That's it for us. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern here on NBA TV.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a great weekend. And in my opinion, overall, that outfit made the show a lot more fun.
Oh, nice. Brace the weekend, people.